So thank you guys for joining us here on Diversity Chats, where we bridge the gaps of diversity and destroy ignorance before it destroys another life. Today I have a guest with me. Guest, if you could, please introduce yourself. What's your name? What are you up to in the world?
My name is Adrian. I'm from Washington, D.C. I currently live in Maryland. I'm a painter, a teacher. That's it.
Cool. Yes. So I've known Adrian for maybe like 14 years. Went to college together, art school. And you're a fine arts major, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So what are you painting today?
So I'm painting a picture. I'll show you.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can see it because I
like the picture.
Yeah, it's a picture of a lady. She's like tangled in the flag.
Wow.
But she's kind of.
What's it mean?
It can mean whatever you want it to mean, but to me, it just means like sometimes we get so tangled in our culture or our country, and like we don't really know what's going on, but we're still like, I don't know, kind of forced in a way. I don't know. That's what it means to me. I don't know. It can be whatever it means to you, but yeah.
Nice.
So
I like that word.
Like, yeah, I'm just working on the details of her hair right now, and then I'll finish it up.
Very nice. And are you doing that for yourself or the commission?
No, that's for me. That's for me.
Yeah.
And then I was also like painting my little mannequin head.
Oh, I'm ready to bring it today. Looks like.
Yeah, just trying to relax today because I didn't have to teach today. So it's been a pretty like decent day.
Mm-hmm. And how is it for you as a teacher? Are you guys doing everything online?
So yeah, we're doing everything online right now, and there's a little confusion as to whether or not we're going back right now. But yeah, everything's online.
Okay, cool. How is that? Like, aren't you an art teacher?
Yes, I teach art.
How do you teach art virtually?
The same way we're talking now is the same way I teach it.
But how about the materials and stuff like that?
Say that again?
The materials.
So they have to have their own materials. They have to at least have paper and crayons or something to color with. So that part is pretty easy. I also send them a list of stuff that they can get just in case we have to do something out of the ordinary. But for the most part, they get their own materials.
Okay. Very cool.
I mean, I get a lot of excuses that they don't have it. I don't have this. I don't have paper. I don't. So just work with what you got.
Yeah. Oh, man. Well, thank you for being a teacher who cares about their student and is really good at their job. So other questions I usually ask my guests. How old are you?
I am 35 years old.
Okay, cool. And what ethnic group do you identify? I always love how people respond to that one. What ethnic group do you identify as?
I am African American.
Okay, cool. And let me make sure. So you say you're from D.C. So what was it like growing up in D.C.?
Ooh, I feel like we about to have therapy today.
Well, that would make me so happy. I always say I'm a bootleg therapist anyway.
Growing up in D.C. was hard.
Okay.
I was.
What's like one thing that's like, what makes it hard to grow up in D.C.?
Because people don't always have their own identity. Or well, no, I won't say that. They won't allow you to have your own. The people put things on you, and like everybody is always like in this mindset where we all have to be the same. Like we all have to have the same type of clothes. We all have to act the same type of way because we live in the same community. And that's where diversity comes in. It's a lack of diversity. And because there's a lack of diversity, it can be difficult because you're not exposed to everything. So you're only exposed to what you see, and you expect everybody around you to be the same way.
Okay.
So I guess that's the difficult part, because you're trying to, especially, I was an artist, growing up as an artist, you want to be your own person. You don't want to be like everybody else. You want to be different. And with that, and then having to be consumed with people that think that we're all supposed to be the same, it becomes overwhelming. Like you feel like you have to fit into this category, and then people put things on people and say, "Well, you're this, so that's automatically what you are." You have no say in who you are, because that's what people identify you as. So
it's like, it sounds like it's kind of like a group think kind of thing.
That's like conforming to society.
Yeah.
You're just conforming to society and not allowed to be your own person. So I think that's the difficult part. And then you have a lot of people who are followers and make crazy decisions and do things to hinder other people's lives, not knowing that they're hindering other people's lives. So it could be difficult living in DC. And then you got all the politics, all that stuff.
Y'all right in the middle of all of it.
Yeah.
So it seems like maybe you grew up seeing a lot of marches and stuff like that, or no? Is that common?
I grow up seeing a lot of marches? No, I didn't grow up seeing a lot of marches, but I did grow up seeing a lot of violence. Like, I saw a lot of violence, like street violence and, just criminal activity. Things that I shouldn't have seen growing up as a kid. But that's because, that was a part of my family lifestyle. Not necessarily a part of my lifestyle, but a part of my family lifestyle. So I saw a lot of stuff that I was not supposed to be exposed to as a child.
Did art help at all with that? Like processing some of those things you experienced that weren't so great?
Say that again?
Like, did art help?
I think art helped me to be exposed to another dimension of the world that was not the world that I was living in. Like, it helped me to see the world differently, and that there are people who actually care and don't do things for money, or they don't do things so that they can get something out of you. They actually want to see you prosper, and they want to see you be great. It also exposed me to something that I never knew about. Like, I never knew about art before I decided to become an artist. So,
like, what was your introduction into art? Was it just like a class in school, or like a family member or friends, or how was it for you?
I really wanted to go to an art school. And the school that I wanted to go to, they only had a couple of different categories that you can apply for. It was an art school, so I went to Duke Ellington, and you can only go to a certain amount of schools. I mean, you could only apply to be in a certain amount of departments, and the departments they had was theater, music, art, dance. They had a lot of art activities, but I decided to do art because I thought it was easy.
That sounds like the reason I went to art college. Was that, I didn't want to write papers, or I would have went to therapy, but I knew I'd have to write, so I went to art school. Did you, that school you were talking about, that's high school age?
Yeah, it's high school. It's 7th through 9th. No, 7th through 12th. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, okay. Very nice. You did that. So you basically went to art school before you went to art school.
Yeah.
That's nice. Wow. I did not have that blessing, but that explains a lot of why you're a really solid artist. I know I was
college prep school, so we was already prepared for college before we went to college. So
yeah, you could have saved on your student loan. I mean, if you got to, I don't know, you could have saved.
I could have did a lot of things that I wish I would have did in college.
Like what?
I wish I would have turned in my portfolio that I should have turned in, which was my senior year portfolio, because I could have got a full scholarship.
Oh, why didn't you do that?
Because I didn't care. I just was like, I don't know if I'm going to college.
Yeah, we don't think about that sometimes.
Yeah. I was like, I don't know if I really want to go. I'm going to just give them anything.
Yeah. And you got in anyway.
Yeah. I got a scholarship too, but it wasn't the amount that I wanted. You know, CCAD gave us all like a scholarship.
Yeah, they're charitable college.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, it has to be with the prices.
I know, it's crazy. When I moved out to LA, though, like, I found out it gets crazier. The schools out in LA are ridiculous. So I'm glad I stayed in Ohio for school.
Mm-hmm.
So you like to paint on, like, all kinds of surfaces, right? Like, I've seen you have pulse. You paint on, obviously, is that canvas or is that wood?
That's canvas that I'm painting.
Okay. And,
yeah, but I painted on wood.
Yeah. And I even still have your little thesis, little baby thing you made out of pulp. I mean, imagine it being here in my hand. It's in Ohio.
Paper?
Yeah, the paper pulp.
It didn't dissolve?
No! It had to be wet to dissolve. I'm not putting it in water. But yeah, she
still have mine too.
You have yours too?
Mm-hmm. It's in a frame though, so I know it's not going to get damaged.
Ah, you got it in three, like a shadow box frame.
Mm-hmm.
That's smart. I should know better. I'm a framer, but anyway. So what was I gonna say? Oh yeah. So some of the things you do here on Instagram, you post pictures of your art that you paint on clothing and stuff, right? Mm-hmm. What's that been like for you as an entrepreneur?
As an entrepreneur, I think things are getting a little bit better. Before, it was like I just didn't know what to do. I just don't know what to do with my art. I don't know where to start. Yeah. And then I started talking to my brother, he's an artist. He does music though, so he does a different type of art. He's like, well, you should do this, you should do that, you should do this. And so I just started listening to him. I was like, I'm gonna listen to him. I'm gonna listen to what he got to say. Yeah. So that's how I got to meet Jacquees, the singer. And I gave him one of my paintings through my brother. And after that, I posted it on Instagram, and then people started inboxing me. Can you do this painting? Can you do this painting? Can you paint this? Can you paint this person? So I was like, okay, it was like a start. And I'm learning that you can't like force things. You just gotta let stuff happen. Like you just can't just be like, you just can't force it. And you gotta also have faith and just believe that, you know, it's possible. Like that's the key.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's cool. Yeah, I love seeing your paintings. And what is your website, or how can people see more of your art?
Right now, I just have my personal page on Instagram, which is I changed the name so many times. I don't even remember what it is.
The goat?
I think it's Sister Raspy Art or something like that. But yeah, it was Adrian the goat, but I took that down because I started feeling some way about the goat. So I just was like, let me not even do that.
You are a true artist. You know what I mean? Like you follow your passion and your flow, and that, you know, if that means the name's gotta change, it's gotta change.
Yes, yeah, so I'll just make it about me. It's my art. It's about me. So let me just expose myself.
All right. Hey, that's good. Take ownership of what you're doing. That's what's up.
Yeah. But I think as far as getting my artwork done and getting it out there, it's been pretty nice and like a pretty easy ride. It's just communicating with people too, because you got to talk to people in order to know, you know, what's out there, what opportunities is out there for you. So just talking to people and finding out information. I'm not where I want to be, but I know I'm going somewhere. You are for sure. Do you feel like with the pandemic, are there more people online that you get to communicate with that's helping your business at all? During the pandemic? Yeah. No. It's not helping? I don't think it's helping because I already felt like things were already moving. So I just feel like it's just moving just the same way. Yeah. So, no, I don't think that has helped me or changed anything for me.
Yeah. And I love that you do like a lot of different expressions with art. It's not just painting, but also hair, right? Like you be doing the stuff with the heart, girl.
Yeah. I was doing hair for a minute, especially when I was in Ohio. When I was in Ohio and when I was in Florida, that was my little side gigs.
That's good money. People pay for hair. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, but I don't do that stuff anymore. I don't really do hair anymore, other than my hair.
Your hair. I'm like, who is that? What is Adrian? She changed hair.
Yep. I don't do anybody's hair now. Just my own. Yeah.
What is it? What is the different things that you do? Like when you were in Ohio and Florida, what was like? Is it latch hook? I don't know what it's called.
What are you talking about? What type of hairstyles?
Yeah.
I was doing the invisible parts. Okay. I was doing braids here and there. Like cornrows, plaits, and stuff like that. Just regular sew-ins. I was doing a lot of different things, but that was just to get some money. It was like I just need to do something to get some money. I mean, let me get out here and hustle. And it was a little. I wish it was a bigger hustle, but it was just a little hustle.
Hustle. It was money. Money is clean money. You weren't doing drugs. You know what I mean? You're doing hair, so you did the right thing.
Because it was a struggle for me in Florida. Florida was okay. I had to live in a hotel. I was homeless in Florida for a minute, for a couple months, and that was a lot. So, I had to do something, and then eventually I got a job, and then that went well. But I was still living in a hotel, and I was working. So.
Struggle's real when you try to you gotta uproot your whole life and start somewhere else. You, me, and a few of our other friends, we all left Ohio at the same time almost, and you went to Florida, 2 of us went to California, somebody went to Texas. Struggle's real, but I'm proud of you for trying. You know what I mean? Because that's stretching your spiritual muscle in a way that I think it's worse. Regret is worse, in my opinion.
I agree with that. I mean, I wouldn't have been able to experience all that I've experienced or even be able to endure, I would say. I wouldn't be able to endure all that I've endured without those challenges and things that I've been through. Because there was times where I didn't have clothes. There was times where I didn't have shoes. I had holes in my shoes and I couldn't walk anywhere. And I was walking for miles and miles, especially in Florida because there's no buses. So you got to walk miles and miles to get to that stuff. And I was walking until I had holes in all of my shoes and the ground was steaming hot. So I know what those things feel like, and I can also empathize and sympathize with other people who are going through things like that. So it helps a lot to just be grateful for everything that I do have. Because right now I feel like I have way more than I've ever expected. And so, and things are probably going to get better. So,
amen. Yes, they will. Yes, they will get better. What would you say, other than gratitude, is your biggest takeaway from that experience? Uprooting your life, your normal, going to Florida, getting it out there. What was it?
What was other than gratitude?
Yeah, which is powerful. But you mentioned it, and
I don't know, just accomplishment. You said something about that, but just being able to accomplish something, getting stuff accomplished. But I don't know what else.
That's huge, though. I mean, to me, I don't know, it's because I grew up playing video games, but I see life in video game form sometimes, and it's you have there's a token in your belt that gave you more power. You know, when you play video games and you may shoot something or you might capture something and you get more points and tokens, it gives you more life. do more to push off of if you get hit later. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that's what you got in my video game terminology is you got more tokens. So when life hits you later, you're just like, well, I still have
it. Yeah, I think that's the truth. Cause like even now, I wouldn't say things are perfect, especially because I'm still dealing with stuff, but it's just a little different from what I was dealing with before. Like mentally, it has helped me to get over those hills and those mountains and stuff that I couldn't get over before. So like, yeah. So
yeah, we definitely got to be able to see how strong we are. I think people like give up too soon. They never see how strong they are. And then you think like, because I gave up on this, I won't have to face anything else hard. But it's like, no, it's better to like get your tokens of wisdom and strength in the moment, because something is going to come up again. And at least you have something to fight with. You have some kind of like knowing in the inside of yourself that I can do this. I have faced difficult before and overcame before. I faced impossible and saw God work a possibility out of it. So I always say, like, don't stray away from like people run away from being afraid, or they run away from like difficulty and stuff. But one of the things I was hearing is I think my pastor in LA, my last pastor in LA said the butterfly, it's I don't know. I listen to so many people. Somebody said it. But anyways, the butterfly, you'll see it in its cocoon beating against the inside, right? And like you might look at it and be like, oh, it's struggling, like I want to help it, and you want to release it. And for me, like one of the examples would be like when I've been between jobs, people have been like, just go home, like go back to Ohio, like you know, go back to your mom's, or come home or whatever. But me, I'm like, but this is how you get your strength. Like if I just bail now, I won't get it. And the thing that they were saying with the butterfly is if you release it prematurely, it won't survive, because that was how it was getting its strength. It cannot, its wings are not going to be strong enough for survival if it's quote unquote rescued out of its struggle. You know what I mean? So like there's this beauty and struggle that I really like, I get so excited about. And you might sound like crazy if you're like me, people might think I'm crazy for it, but I know that there is necessity and struggle, you know what I mean? So I'm proud of you. You're constantly pushing through. You've come through for me at random times, like, God just told me to bless you. I'm like, God, thank you, Jesus. But I've been between, you know what I mean? So I really appreciate that. Like the struggle is real, and that's why it's so important to be like connected to people, you know what I mean? And stay connected, because we cannot do this on our own, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think a lot of times we attract certain things to us that we shouldn't attract, or we don't want to attract, because we're so focused on not wanting to attract those things. So like a lot of negative stuff, like, oh, I don't want to be homeless, or I don't want to be broke, or I don't want to be this, and you're so focused on not wanting that stuff that you're actually attracting that stuff to you. So, and I learned that from being in Florida, because I was like, I don't want to be broke, I don't want to be homeless, I don't want to be in this, and then I ended up in all of those situations. And now I'm like at the point in my life, like when I came back here and I hit a wall concerning my health. Like I was like, now what do? I don't know what I'm going to do, because my health is messed up. I'm probably going to be sick. I'm probably going to die. I don't know what's going to happen to me. And once I got to that point, it was just like, okay, I need to start attracting some positive stuff in my life. And I need to start claiming some things and retracting my faith, my actual faith. And I was like, well, I'm not going to be broke. I am going to have money. I am going to be wealthy. I am going to do this. And after speaking to my brother and talking to him, I was like, I was tired of working at Walmart. I was like, I'm going to just keep working at Walmart, work at Walmart. And I was like, I was tired of working at Goodwill. I was like, I'm working at Goodwill. Oh my God, I don't want to do this. I'm not making any money. And so it was like, okay, now I need to get to a point where I'm going to actually do something. And I'm like, I can be a teacher. I can teach. What am I waiting on? Just do it. And then I was like, I'm going to teach. And I just decided to go ahead and do it. So I'm like, I'm gonna just go ahead and do it. And I started to attract the thing that I wanted because that's what I wanted. And sometimes when we continue to focus so much on what we don't have, we end up not having anything.
Right.
So it's like, it's important, like, that we change our mindsets and that we change the way we think concerning our circumstance, because we look at the circumstance and we also look at the future. And when you're looking at the future spiritually, you can change that based on how much you're focusing on what you don't want. So you got to really focus on what it is that you do want. So I want to do this. So do it. Get to it. Do it. Because we can really, I'm really like, I really believe that people can have whatever it is they want out of life. You can. You can do it. You don't have to. You don't have to wait on somebody else to give it to you. You don't have to wait for it to come to you. You have to really put your hand to the plow and actually do it.
Right.
And then also focus your mind and your heart on what it is that you want to do, so you can get that done. And nobody is like nobody's circumstance can hinder them, only if they allow it. Only if they allow that circumstance to hinder them. Like, we are not our problems. We're not our issues. And like, those issues come because we allow that negativity to like fester within us. Like, oh, you're not going to make it. Oh, you're not going to be able to do this. You don't have the money. I don't have this. And then you start focusing on what you don't have, and then you just continue to go downhill. So, like, there's been times where I didn't have money, but I don't focus on the fact that I don't have money. I'm just like, I'm going to get money. Yep. I was like, I'm going to have money next week. I'm going to get paid next week. I ain't worried about that. So, and I still go out and act like I still have money. And act like I still have it, because that's my mindset. My mindset is, okay, I'm not going to be broke, or I'm not going to be this. So, like, I'm just, you really gotta focus and center your mind on those positive things, those positive thoughts, and what it is that you really want out of life, because you can have whatever you want, for real.
Yeah, that's real. That is real. I guess it's like the law of like sowing and reaping. I think the secret, but biblically as Christians we call it like law of sowing and reaping. And I'm saying that to like whoever's listening. I know you know. And it's just like our words are so powerful. Our words are so powerful, and I love that phrase of become who you want to attract. You know, that's an intentional step that I make every day is to become who I want to attract, you know, because you can look at your circumstances and say that I am my circumstances, or you can say I am what I am planning on being. You know what I mean? Like, I am moving in that direction. And, you know, biblically speaking, again, like, God used words to create, and we create with our words, whether it's a tragedy or something good. Unfortunately, things do happen to us that we can't plan for, but there are many things that we can, you know, like, I love that phrase, control the controllables, you know, what do I have control over? And like you said, you know, you can look at all the things you don't have, or you can be like, what's in my hand, basically, you know, that's what I was thinking, like, what do I have? Bloom where planted, like, whatever phrase you got drawn to, that's real, and it really does work, or both of us would be homeless right now. Because we both got a whole bunch of stories. Yeah. And like, like, I'm thinking about me getting my license. I was like, in my head, before getting my driver's license, I was like, I would never get my driver's license. And that's what happened. It took me forever to get my driver's license, because I always thought, you know, I'm not going to get my driver's license. Then when I decided, okay, I'm going to get my driver's license, I went ahead and did it, and I got it. And it didn't take long. And it was like, so you really got to focus your thoughts and center your thoughts, like meditation and all that. Like, I just started doing the I am thing every morning. I am this, I am that. Like, you just say, I am something positive, or I am. I've been doing that in the morning, and that's been helpful for me mentally, because being at home is a lot.
Like
Yes.
being stuck at home, you really are in your thoughts. And so
Yeah.
them negative thoughts are easy to like come in quicker because you're alone and you're not even like they come on you. Like it's like they jump on you at one time. And so like I have to do that stuff in the morning or I have to do it at night because if not I'm going to be like so focused on what I don't have or you know just my situation, my current situations, and I'm like I'm not that. So I need to get out of that and get to the point where I'm more positive in my life and positive with the words that I say concerning myself too. Because a lot of the things that we say about ourselves hinder us from doing what it is that we need to do. So
that's very true. Yeah, when you were saying that, I was thinking about how, you know, sometimes people want to just empty themselves of negativity, but then they don't replace it with positivity. And, you know, biblically, the Bible does say, like, I can't think of how it goes exactly, but it's talking about cleaning your house up, getting rid of a demon. And all you do is clean up the house, and he brings like 7 more demons back with him because you didn't. The house was empty. It was basically like make more room for more. So it's like you have to be filled with something. And the same with thoughts and words. Like you're going to be hearing something, so you got to be intentional. Pick what you hear. Or if you sleeping on yourself and you're not doing anything and not being intentional, you're going to hear what the enemy has to offer you. You know what I mean? So that's really important.
And I know that you're going to hear everything that everybody else put on you. You're going to hear everything that they said about you in the past. All those things that people said about you in the past, those things jump on you because you're alone. And it's like being in solitary confinement. And like, yeah, it's just like you're alone now. So everything that everybody said about you is coming on you now. And you're starting to feel guilty or you're starting to feel afraid about those things. So then you have to really recenter yourself and say, oh, I'm not those things because that's not what, you know, God feels about me. And that's not what I should feel about myself. I should be happy with who I am. And like I should be happy and know that I'm able to be better than what I was before. So yeah, I feel like that's
what you say.
That's a lot. I feel like I just got a whole lot off my chest.
Oh yay! Hey, that makes this profitable for me. That makes it feel like I didn't show up for no reason. You didn't show up for no reason. And hopefully whoever's watching got something out of it. Because we do have to get stuff off our chest, especially if you're like again by yourself or whatever. Obviously we're not alone, God's with us, but we were talking about human beings are not with us. It's kind of like you will, oh gosh, I kind of lost my train of thought. Okay, well, I'm going to say something to another point you mentioned. That
when we're not surrounded with other people. I know you were saying something about that. When we're not with other people. Okay.
I don't know where the thought went, but but the other thing about the thoughts coming to us that are negative is this default of negative thinking. You know, it's this reprogramming that we have to do with our brain, just like the I ams that you're doing. Some kind of declaration. I've written declarations over things that I feel like are dead and are not going to work out. And I've had to say, this is what I declare over my life. Like it's already happening. I don't see it yet in the natural because that's what faith looks like. But it's like really crazy, but it's super necessary. And so I hope that whoever's watching, and I pray both of us, will keep doing that, with being intentional with our words. I know that it's been a little bit over, so I don't want to hold you up. But I did want to mention too, Adrian's a songbird. So what app do you use when you do your you do like Duo or something? And I mean, I don't know the name of the app, but like the thing where you do the Voicey?
Yeah, it's called Voicey.
Well, I like it. I'm glad you're speaking still.
Yeah, I mean.
Art is therapy, okay? And so, like, whatever outlet you do it in, whether it's in doing hair, which is an art, or, you know, doing paintings or spoken word or singing or anything like that, writing, that's therapy. You know what I mean? And I think the thought I was going to say earlier is that we can sound like we're crazy when we're just by ourselves when we say the truth. Because the lie is all around is so dominant, it feels like the lie is the truth and the truth is the lie. So I'm loving that you said, like, you're glad you got to say some stuff that you want to say, because I get to be a sounding board for you to say, yeah, you're not crazy for saying those things or thinking those things, those healthy, pure, worthy thoughts. But when you're by yourself and there's all these like dark thoughts around you and these like attacks and stuff, you can kind of like, am I crazy?
And no telling how long we're going to be in this pandemic. You don't know how long you're going to be here. So you just keep yourself up, basically. You got to keep yourself up and keep yourself in a positive mood, and know that, even though things don't look the way that they should look right now, that it's going to be a better outcome for some people. So,
yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So we just got to just keep the faith and keep the peace within ourselves, and not give up, not give up too soon, because anything is possible. You never know what's going to happen.
I'm literally listening to this book on Audible called Before You Quit by Greg Damon, Gehe. And so I love that you said that, about too soon to quit, or don't give up too soon. How do you say don't give up too soon? Okay.
Don't give up too soon, because some people are probably right at that edge, especially those people who don't have the means of financially supporting themselves right now because they don't have a job, or they don't have, they don't have it right now, or they're not getting the unemployment, because I know it's a lot of people out here that's not getting unemployment. A lot of people out here that don't have a job, and like those people who don't have that, like, don't give up. If you focus on what you do have and what you can do, then you're going to be able to do whatever it is you need to do with financially. Like, you're going to be able to get those things. Don't focus on what you don't have, because when you start doing that, you start manifesting that. Like, and we as people, like, God has given us a gift. Like, I think manifestation is a gift, and like, God has given us a gift. Somebody's knocking on the door. Giving us a gift to manifest certain things. So when we do that, hold on for a second, I'm sorry. When we manifest those things, when we use that power that God has given us, then you can have whatever it is you want. I'll be right back.
Yeah. I definitely want to elaborate on that a little bit, in that
I'm on the chat right now. Oh, I'm sorry. It's okay. Your painting is actually
it's important to realize that you have more control over your situation than it is you.
So one of my friends is here to pick up a painting. So,
let's see.
The painting is in the car. This is Jessica.
Oh,
she's live.
Hi.
Welcome to the manifestation. Manifesting your whatever it is that you want out of life, instead of focusing so much on the negativity. Okay. So just focusing on the things that you want, and that's how you manifest the things that God has for you. So we were just having a whole.
Oh no! There's this preacher and bishop and prophet, Bernardi Jordan, and he talks a lot about manifestation and actually writing down things, because the power of thinking it and speaking it and writing it.
And the crazy thing is, so many people are manifesting illness because
that's true.
They're so concentrated on the illness.
Yeah.
So you gotta be careful.
Yeah, that's true. There's a lot of people talking about, like, there's a difference between manifestation and actually hearing the will of God. Because truthfully, if are you guys, is this a Christian talk? Okay, I'm sorry. But, the will of God, if you're in tune with the will of God, then that's already manifestation. In fact, Bernard E. Jordan talks about God needing us to manifest his will. Mm-hmm. So if we are in the will of God and working in the will of God, then the things that we want are already in place for us.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So I don't know. So people
and sometimes we block those things with our negativity,
and sometimes we block what we need and trying to manifest something that isn't quite for us.
Yep. I agree with that. All right.
Enjoy your day,
Thank you for sharing.
I'm gonna take her to the car so I can get my stuff.
Definitely. It's okay. I'll just talk to the people. I'll talk to the people. Or you want me to end it? I can end it.
Well, you can talk to them if that's what you want to do.
Okay. All right, you come back when you can. But yeah, so definitely want to thank you guys for like how much control you have over your situation. That you can put into the ground that you can see grow. You know, like Adrian was saying, you have to be careful about what you're, or what I was saying, what you're saying, because those things are bringing a reality to happen in your life, and hopefully, with the reality that you want to see for your life is something positive. So then, I was going to strongly encourage you to be intentional to speak positivity into the atmosphere. Speak life. Your positivity and be a beautiful thing. Also, like to encourage, like as far as like between jobs, because I've been there more than once, and I've had more than one eviction notice. By the grace of God, I haven't been evicted, and I faithfully believe in tithing, and I believe it secures you and financially and in so many other ways. But I would say, like, if you find yourself between jobs and you feel like, oh man, I don't have money to take me, I was living paycheck to paycheck. I would say don't beat yourself up, but do like take inventory on that, like lessons that I can learn in the middle of this. You know what I mean? Whatever this is, let's say it was in between jobs. One of the things I've been able to take inventory on when I've been between jobs, because I was living paycheck to paycheck, because I was being irresponsible with my finances. And irresponsible is not always like, okay, like sometimes you really aren't making that much money to save anything. But if you can set $5 aside every now and then, I strongly encourage you to pick that habit up once you start getting income again. Because even if you're getting an unemployment check, try to set aside $5 and be like, I'm not going to get that, whatever it is, it costs you $5 that you don't need, like a coffee or some, dessert or whatever, eating out. Just being more intentional with your savings, and then even encouraging you to look into investing and how you can do that, how you can grow your money, how you can grow money while you sleep. Other ways to get streams of income that's not really depending on a job. Because unfortunately, I mean, the economy in America and different parts of the world, it's just not set up for you to be so sure that your job is going to be there tomorrow. And like I said, I've been between jobs multiple times. And I just know that God is faithful. For one, I know that God is not broke, and I will say that a lot. I would often say I never seen the righteous forsaken nor seed begging for bread. So I've never gone hungry. In fact, I gained weight while I was between jobs. Praise the Lord. And that's not a good thing, honestly, but it was just saying that I didn't have lack. God is not lack. And he also showed me that there's so many things that he can open doors for and bring opportunities to us, that money, usually was our thought process. I need money to get this. I need money to do that. But God showed me, over time, that I actually didn't need money to do those things. I just need God, and he's like increased my trust in him so much. I'm not scared of a whole bunch of stuff I used to be afraid of. And like Adrian was saying, people are scared to be homeless. People are scared of this, scared of that. And sometimes God lets you go through it just so you can see that monster in your closet or underneath your bed isn't so scary, that God is greater than all of that. So count your losses as wins, because there's wisdom in that. There's lessons to be learned. And I say collect all the coins that you can. And for me, it's like Mario to me, like playing Mario. And they have like the little wall where you have to know that it's a secret wall you go through. And then there's like, you get all these tokens. Like sometimes those are detours in life, if we choose to embrace those detours, if we choose to embrace the things that shake us up and are different than what we expected, we can find gems and tokens and rewards there that God has for us that's going to help us in our future. So don't think you're losing when you're winning. Sometimes it looks like you're losing. Sometimes, they say it's it's kind of like a slingshot effect where you took, 3 steps forward and 10 steps back, but then you're in a slingshot, you know what I mean? And God is lining you up to accelerate you forward. So as long as you're in the will of God, as long as you're, seeking God and asking to be rightly aligned with him, that your heart is in the right place, you don't have to worry about whether or not God is going to take care of you. Because if you're his adopted child because you said yes to Jesus as your Lord and Savior, you're okay. You're going to be taken care of. So there's a couple things. First of all, keep God first. And another thing is think about, if I've been living paycheck to paycheck, how can I switch that up and start saving and investing so that I grow my money and I don't have to worry about whether the job says they want to keep me or not, and then trust God that he wouldn't let something happen to you that he wouldn't equip you to endure, that there wasn't a purpose in it. Even if it feels like you hit the bottom of the bottom, again, we have to be honest and say, well, what did I do with the last 5 years of my life as far as my finances are concerned? Because could I have been growing money? Okay, yes, if I could have, then from here on out, that's going to be my, I'm going to be intentional about that. I'm going to be intentional about saving money and investing and growing my money. And I'm going to be intentional about tithing and sowing seed. So please don't think it's wasted when it's God doing some things behind the scenes in your heart and your character that will really benefit you in the long run. But I'm going to go ahead and end this chat here. But I'm so grateful for Adrian joining me. I'll add her link to her current Instagram account in case you want to see her art or do any commission work with her. She's a really great artist and really a sweetheart and very helpful and kind. So if you guys have any questions, definitely reach out to her. But we definitely want to thank everybody who tuned into Diversity Chat today. We bridge the gaps of diversity and destroy ignorance before it destroys another life. Hope you guys have a blessed day. See you around.